Putin sends a message to Trump amid Ukraine conflict. Ukraine deal on the cards? Putin's secret message revealed. Putin sends telegram to Trump, but no personal call scheduled. Russian President Vladimir Putin wished his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump a very happy Merry Christmas. The message was sent by telegram. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters that no phone conversation is planned for today. The greetings without a call are a notable shift, especially when both leaders have been actively involved in discussing the settlement of the Ukraine war. Trump and Putin have spoken on numerous occasions in the past. In June, Putin called Trump on his 79th birthday, with the two discussing Iran and the Middle East during a 50-minute conversation. On October 16th, too, the leaders also held a phone call, during which Putin congratulated Trump on helping mediate the peace agreement in Gaza. The two even met face-to-face in August in Alaska for a high-stakes summit aimed at restoring ties and stopping the fighting. Under Trump, U.S.-Russia relations had warmed significantly compared to the frostier Biden era. But this Christmas, the line stayed silent. Peskov informed that Putin will hold phone calls with other global leaders, but Trump is not on the list. Zelensky is making all the noise this time. Is Putin-Trump bonhomie over? Zelensky now claims Trump's team has agreed to most of Ukraine's peace demands, including calls for Russian troop withdrawal, a red line Moscow has firmly rejected. The proposal offered another potential compromise on control of the Donbas region, which has been a major sticking point in peace negotiations. In his nightly address, Zelensky now claims coming weeks may be intensive. Today, we also spoke for nearly an hour with envoys of the U.S. President, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. It was a truly good conversation. We went into many details. There are good ideas which we discussed. We have some new ideas in terms of formats, meetings, and of course timing on how to bring a real peace closer. Later today, Rustem Umerov will continue discussions with the American team, and it is important if we succeed in organizing what we discussed today. Some documents are already prepared. As I see it, they are nearly ready, and some documents are fully prepared. Of course, there is still work to be done on sensitive issues, but together with the American team, we understand how to put all of this in place. The weeks ahead may also be intensive. In his Christmas address, Zelensky said, "Today we all share one dream, and we make one wish for all of us. May he perish. Each of us may think to ourselves," he said in a video address, appearing to be referring to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Since ancient times, Ukrainians have believed that on Christmas night the heavens open, and if you tell them your dream, it will surely come true. Today, we all share one dream, and we make one wish for all of us. May he perish, each of us may think to ourselves. But when we turn to God, of course, we ask for something greater. We ask for peace for Ukraine.
According to the plan, we are currently engaged in analyzing the information that Dmitriev conveyed to President Putin. We are thoroughly analyzing this specific material, and subsequently, depending on the decisions that will be taken by the head of state, we will then continue our ongoing communication with the American side. We saw a report about a really strange Christmas address yesterday, Zelensky's. Uncultured and quite clearly embittered post. He appears to be a rather unstable and inadequate individual. One has to seriously ask the question, is he truly capable of making sound and appropriate decisions for the resolution of political matters through diplomatic means?
Tensions flare between Moscow and Kyiv as Russian officials slam Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's Christmas message, raising fresh questions about Ukraine's readiness for diplomacy. Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov described Zelensky's holiday address as truly strange, calling it ungentle and malicious. He questioned whether the Ukrainian leader is capable of making adequate decisions to resolve the ongoing conflict through diplomatic means. Peskov added that the Kremlin is analyzing a U.S.-Ukrainian peace proposal referenced by Zelensky in his Christmas message, signaling Moscow's cautious approach to potential negotiations. Peskov said Russia will assess these materials, and depending on the decisions made by the head of state, we will continue communication with the Americans.
Yesterday, Jérôme Goreau, a journalist from the French TV channel LCI, who had posed a question to the president during a press conference concerning the Frenchman Laurent Vinatier, announced on his own channel's broadcast that you had called him and informed him that the president had ordered a review of Vinatier's case and that a certain proposal had been extended to Paris regarding this matter. Could you confirm the fact of such a phone conversation with Jérôme Goreau in our contacts truly ongoing between Moscow and Paris regarding this?
I can confirm that indeed I made the call at the president's specific instruction and conveyed this information to the journalist.
Is the president planning to congratulate Trump for Christmas? And can we assume that today's evening telephone conversation will be precisely a conversation with Trump?
The president has already congratulated Trump on Christmas and sent him a congratulatory telegram. It is impossible to assume that a conversation with Trump will take place today. There will be no such conversation today. At the very least, it is not currently scheduled, as things stand right now.
What exactly does the offer entail that was put forward regarding Laurent Vinatier? And do we have any further details?
No, I'm afraid I cannot provide you with the full details. This is an extremely sensitive area, but I can confirm here that yes, this was indeed a direct instruction from the president. It is indeed the case that there were significant and appropriate contacts established between our respective parties and the French. And it is also true that a specific proposal was put forward to the French authorities concerning this individual, Laurent Vinatier. And truly, at this very moment, the ball is now firmly in their court. On the French side, yes, it's entirely in France's court.
On December 24th, Zelensky posted a Catholic Christmas message on Telegram in which he issued a wish of death without specifying the target, drawing sharp criticism from Moscow. Zelensky said despite marking the holiday at a difficult time, the nation's unity remains intact.
We are celebrating Christmas this year at a truly difficult time. Unfortunately, not all of us are able to be home this evening, and sadly, not everyone among us even has a home.
And sadly, not everyone we hold dear is with us here today. Yet despite all the immense suffering and devastation Russia has brought upon us, it is utterly incapable of occupying or bombing the very core of what makes us who we are, our Ukrainian heart, our unwavering faith in one another, and our unbreakable unity. And that is why millions of us today will be waiting for the first star to appear in the sky.
In the skies above Kyiv, across the beautiful region of Zakarpattia, high above Odessa, or even in the challenging area of Kupiansk, wherever Ukrainians may be found. Today, all together, they are marking the celebration of Christmas on a unified date, truly as one large, cohesive family. Undoubtedly, the times of war have changed us, and it's not as important now how we decorate our home, but rather how we protect it. It almost doesn't matter what dishes are on the table. What truly matters is the company of the people gathered around it.
Russian presidential aide Kirill Dmitriev recently met with U.S. officials in Miami, including Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and former White House advisor Jared Kushner, as part of ongoing diplomatic discussions. A Ukrainian delegation, led by National Security Council Secretary Rustem Umerov, also met with U.S. representatives, describing the talks as productive and constructive. Earlier this month, separate meetings between Ukrainian and European officials took place in Berlin. U.S. President Donald Trump weighed in, saying negotiations with Ukraine are getting close to something, highlighting Washington's continued role in seeking a diplomatic path forward amid rising tensions. As Moscow scrutinizes Zelensky's statements and ongoing peace proposals, the world watches closely to see whether diplomacy can still bridge the gap between Kyiv, Moscow, and Washington. Russia says its forces are pressing forward across multiple fronts, and Moscow claims another settlement has fallen. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, units of the Yug group of forces have liberated Sviato-Pokrovskoye in the Donetsk People Republic, following what officials described as resolute actions on the battlefield. Newly released video from the ministry shows intense artillery and armored strikes across eastern and southern Ukraine. Grad multiple launch rocket systems are seen striking temporary deployment areas near Gulyai Pol in the Zaporizhia region. Heavy 2S4 Tulpan mortars target what Russia describes as deep concrete fortifications. Self-propelled M-S artillery is shown hitting ammunition depots and strongholds near Krasnoarmeysk. In separate footage, a T-72B3M tank crew is shown supporting an assault operation in the Kharkiv region. The ministry says the tank came under FPV drone attack and enemy artillery fire, yet continued firing, allowing Russian assault units to overrun an AFU stronghold.
We were moving out as part of an armored group, which consisted of a tank and an MTLB and then another MTLB. Our mission was to conduct diversionary actions with the goal of drawing all enemy attention onto ourselves so that the assault groups could advance into the neighboring tree line with the least possible amount of enemy fire. The objective was successfully completed. Our fire team advanced and secured its position. We were under heavy fire from both enemy artillery and numerous drones. However, despite these intense attacks, the tank endured multiple drone strikes and the sustained impact of the adversary's artillery. Furthermore, FPV drones were actively engaged in targeting us as well. One drone specifically hit the grill, but the grill held up. The tank continued its combat mission. On the way back, 2 FPV drones were chasing us. One, due to EW impact, fell in front of the tank, and the second hit the grill again.
And so he didn't break through accordingly.
In its daily operational report, the Russian Defense Ministry claims gains across several axes. In the Sumy region, Moscow says Sever Group forces struck multiple Ukrainian brigades, reporting up to 265 Ukrainian casualties, along with destroyed artillery systems, vehicles, and Israeli-made radar equipment. In the Kharkiv direction, Russia reports additional strikes on mechanized and motorized infantry brigades. The Zapad group of forces, according to Moscow, improved positions along the front line, targeting formations near Kupiansk and other contested areas. In Donetsk, Russian officials claim continued pressure around Dmitrov, saying Ukrainian units there remain encircled and attempts to break through Russian lines have failed. The Vostok group of forces is reported to be advancing deeper into Ukrainian defensive positions in Zaporizhia and Dnipropetrovsk regions, including the destruction of a US-made Paladin self-propelled artillery system. Further south, the Dnieper group of forces is said to have struck Ukrainian units near Kherson and Zaporizhia, neutralizing vehicles, electronic warfare stations, and ammunition depots. Russia also claims widespread aerial and missile strikes on airfields, ports, drone production sites, energy facilities, and deployment areas, along with the interception of guided bombs, HIMARS rockets, and hundreds of drones. Moscow says that since the start of what it calls its special military operation, Ukrainian forces have suffered extensive losses across aircraft, armor, artillery, and unmanned systems. These claims could not be independently verified. But taken together, Russia's latest statements and video releases signal an effort to project momentum, firepower, and control as the war grinds on into another winter.